guys. We're rocking the old Bandit cup here today, one of my Christmas gifts from the kids. Love it. This pile of lumber back here is going to become something pretty cool today, so stick around and see what happens. So we need to do a few things this morning. Hey girls. Hey Charlie. So I know we haven't done a whole lot of videos on our sheep. Good morning, girls and boys. And what we've kind of been currently doing is we started out with just a couple sheep a little over a year ago, and just because I had it laying around, I threw together a little rain shelter for the sheep, and it worked pretty well. It was just some pallets and, you know, and slapped a tarp on that thing, and I drag it around from spot to spot because we use our mobile netting. But our shelter, we have outgrown that. So this one here, her name is Rhonda, and the one back there, that is Janet, and we believe that they are both with lamb, and we should be expecting some lambs here in the next 2 to 3 weeks. So I kind of got to get this done today. So we are going to build a sheep shack. Okay, I got to tell you, carrying all these tools and things over here out of the Connex. We keep, where we're currently at now, I keep a lot of my tools and stuff stored in the Connex. We've got a medium-sized one of those, and I've got that thing pretty full, but all this cold metal, gosh, it was cold moving everything out here. So I'll be glad when it warms up a little bit. So yeah, first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna get our skids cut, and then we're gonna start putting this thing together. You know, a lot of these tools that I have, are holdovers from my days of my youth. My dad is a contractor, and that man has forgotten more things than I probably will ever learn about construction. And he taught me just about most of what I know, if not all of what I know. And so shout out to Dad. Oh, and yeah, this old nail apron here's from Lessonberry, what is it, the Do It Center? Lessonberry, yeah, in Glasgow, Kentucky. So anywho, all right, let's get started. Should we see if we can get some blood flowing and keep ourselves warm. All right, well, hopefully that's the last time I got to use that today. The old Henry Diston fine kerf crosscut saw. Every now and then you need to use one of those. But basically what we're going to do is, on one end, we're going to build a platform. And it's going to hold other things that we want to move around. Like, one of the problems with relocating the animals to a new pasture is every single time I have to move their feeders and their water and the hay and all the things that go along with it, which is, we have a water tank that is going to sit on the back of this sled that will accommodate a larger number of animals, and it'll be able to be easily transported with the structure. I can just pull it somewhere with a tractor without having to, you know, drain and refill the thing every time, or at least that's the idea. The actual structure is going to end up being 6 foot wide by 8 feet long, which should be, you know, it's over 4 times the space of what they have now, so it should be plenty for all the sheep and other animals to get in. So we're going to put this together with the old pass load framing gun. I got this thing, this is an older one. I got it probably like 10 years ago, roughly. A contractor my dad does a lot of electrical work for, he goes through a ton of these things building houses, and this one, you know, didn't quite work right or something, so he just said, hey, you want that, you can have it. And Dad picked it up, and we tinkered with it a little bit, and it's worked perfect ever since. So but anyway, we're going to be putting this together with framing nails, and we'll get the sled finished, and then we'll start on the upright structures. We got the two ends done. This is the basic frame for the sheep structure, and it's decently solid, and then it's going to strengthen up quite a bit once we get our siding on it. So I'm going to split what I decided to use for this, just because they're treated, and honestly it's about the cheapest thing you can find for this type of thing, other than just, you know, putting metal on something like this or plywood. And I just didn't really want to go that route. Just for kicks and giggles, I decided to go with decking boards. It's probably not the best choice. Maybe I should have went with treated plywood, because the plywood would have given me a little bit more, a little bit less weight when it's all said and done. But I think the dimensional lumber, the deck boards, are going to add a little more strength than plywood would. Add to the wood. Yeah. Okay. So you're back out here with us, but in the meantime, I was working on getting the siding up the side here, which I think I talked about was just deck boards. If that wasn't on the last half of the video, I decided to use deck boards just because of the structural strength it's going to add. But this thing is heavy. Part of that reason of that is because a lot of this lumber is really wet still. It needs to dry out. So I'm hoping that it does that, and it dries out, and it loses about 30% of its weight. Because it's going to be kind of hard for the tractor, let alone the mule, to drag this thing around. But anyway, we're just working on getting the roof finished up now. So let me just get the last few screws in this roof, and then we'll look at it from a couple different angles. Okay, that's enough screws in the roofing, I think. I'm just going to show you, just kind of walk around and show you the inside of it. And but yeah, so this is what it looks like. But yeah, so it should be plenty spacious in here for animals to get in here and, you know, turn around and get out of the rain and all that stuff. So this is going to be tremendously better than what we had. I just want to see what the water tank is going to look like, so we're going to do that. So that's where our water tank's going to go. That's our solution for that. Originally I thought I would put a 6-foot tank on here, but then when I considered the difference in weight of an additional 30 gallons of water, you know, water's what, 8 pounds a gallon, so an extra 30 gallons would be 240 pounds additionally. And I was like, man, I got to figure out a couple of ways to like cut some corners. We have some friends, Charlie and Lisa from Homesteading in Hungary. If you guys don't follow them, you should give them a follow, subscribe, and like their page. Charlie and Lisa are They are some of the nicest people in all of creation. They are just a wonderful people. They have some cattle. If you follow their stuff, you know this. They do Dexter crosses, and they have a couple of Dexter calves that once they're weaned, we're gonna get those here. So we're really looking forward to that. Fingers crossed. Hopefully everything goes well with that. Um, but that was one of the other reasons why we decided to go this route and kind of overbuild a structure. Is even though if it's a little too much for me to move around with the UTV, if I have to get the tractor out to move it every time, it's not a big deal. I'll get the tractor out and I'll move it. It is what it is. But I wanted something overbuilt. I wanted something that was going to last. I wanted something that I wasn't going to have to redo it in 6 months to a year when our calves when they outgrow it. I wanted something that a full-size Dexter could get in and lay down and, if it wanted to, and sleep in the cold and that sort of thing. So we will pick this back up tomorrow morning, and we're going to finish up those anchor points and put another piece of 4x4 underneath the middle of this to support the weight of the water tank, and get that strapped in. And then we're going to have to go get some longer lag bolts. All right, well, welcome back, guys. It's the next day, so thanks for joining us again for part 2. This is actually going to be kind of cool today. What we're gonna accomplish. So what I have here is some D-rings. Let me set this stuff down. Basically, what we're gonna do is we're gonna stick these D-rings in with some lag screws, and we're gonna mount one on this corner, about 6 inches up, maybe 8 inches up. One goes on this side. One goes on this side. And we've got a couple extras. We're going to use one in the front. I bought these to be able to hook a tow strap to, or a chain or a hook in there, so I could pull it with the UTV. So let's get started, and we'll get these in, and then we're going to get a strap around this tank, and then our shelter is pretty much going to be done. Okay, let's see. Off of that, we're looking at like basically 6 inches. So we'll come up 6 inches. And we want to be in line with our post here. And just put us a pencil mark there. Okay. And there's that. It's going to be just fine for our purposes. Okay, so that's it. I think I want to get a tie down strap. Okay. Okay, so this is our little feeder. And I think what I want to do is mount it right here. I like the idea of having it right here on the front wall so that I can approach it. I don't have to come in here if I don't have to. We can just, fill the minerals up from the opening here. Looks like 20, 15 16ths, 7/8 probably fit tight, but we'll do 15 16ths and just make sure it's really snug. Just make sure we got our number right. Yeah, okay, 20 and 15 16ths. My ADHD brain runs at a different speed than it probably should sometimes, and so I'm bouncing all over the place with all these different numbers and things, and by the time I make it back to the saw, I'm going to forget what it was. So I always have to double and triple check my measurements. They say, what was it, measure twice, cut once. Somewhere in there, there's a joke. You can find it. I'm actually going to scoot our saw over just to be closer to that edge there. Make sure we're on our mark and line that up. All right. Beautiful. Later on I may cut that off, I'm not sure. I hate to cut on my straps like that, but yeah, that's solid. You know, I just want to make a little mention about this. This little Milwaukee knife is darn near impressive. It was 19 bucks at Ace Hardware. It's called Tradesman knife. It's full tang, plastic handle. I mean, it's a pretty good shape. It's not the most comfortable thing in the world. Comes with a little locking plastic sheath. And for 19 bucks, I'm really impressed. We'll definitely be using this thing a lot, just with general tasks, you know, around the homestead here. So. All right. This is a logging strap. You can pick these up pretty cheap. I think this one's a 6-footer. Yeah, 6-footer. And I just stuck a 1/4-inch hook on the end of it. The link that I stuck this around was just one of those kind that you hammer shut, a cold shut link. That's kind of the weak link. It's weaker than the strap, it's weaker than the hook. So if this thing starts to pull open, you know, that's what you kind of got to watch for. So I always take a peek at that and inspect it and make sure I don't have anything crazy going on. I also like these because they're really short. And you know, with longer straps, sometimes you can have maneuverability issues and that sort of thing. When you are towing something like this, there is a little bit of, when you think about your force vectors, you know, back to high school physics, you know, our contact point on our load is actually lower than our hitch point. So it's going to be helping us out a little bit by, when you put tension on this, it's actually going to lift a little bit on this, and it's going to pull down on our UTV. So we're actually going to get a little bit better traction just because of the load geometry on that. So let's get it hooked up and see if she pulls. I made a rookie mistake as a YouTuber. I drove all the way over here. I got so excited towing this thing and pulling it with the mule that I got all the way over here and got it in position for where I want to move the animals to. And I forgot my camera and I had to walk all the way back to get the camera. So there she is, the newly updated animal shelter, or as I'm going to affectionately call it, the sheep shack. Our bolts seem to held up fairly well too. It takes a lot of force to pull out a 5-inch lag screw. So this is going to work really well for us and moving on into the future. So we will put the sheep in it here in a little while and see how they like it.
A few moments later.
So we're just out checking the mail, and my my order from Beulah Roasting came in, so some new beans to try. So I'm excited about that. Shout out to Daniel Smith and the fine folks over at Beulah Roasting Company with their awesome coffee. Okay, round two. Micah's gonna help me this time. Watch it, bud. I gotta get this inside. Micah's doing a great job. Good job, bud. All right. Oh, hey, Bandit. We are going to spread out this straw. I gotta get some bumpers on this, or I just know I'm gonna walk into it and slice my cheek open. Gotta be careful. So we're gonna take out our trusty Milwaukee knife again, and man, that thing is so sharp. I can't tell you guys how impressed I am with this little knife. For the money, I've paid a lot more for other knives that aren't as good. Okay, let's spread some straw. But I mean, the purpose of this is to give them a little bit of insulation for the cold nights. So, hey bud. Charlie, I don't know if we've showed him on a video before. I think we have. Charlie is he's a Anatolian Shepherd, Great Pyrenees mix. I could honestly put a big logo on right there on that little half wall there, or for that matter, I think it would be kind of cool to put a logo on the front. Maybe I can get a farm logo. Farrah and I have picked out a name for our farm, or for our future farm. And we've already started to use that a little bit to establish some business identities and things. Maybe I could make a logo for that and put it there. Look at this. Man, look at those clouds up there. They are so pretty. So pretty. Sunset has got to be one of my favorite times of day. How's it going, bud? Going good? Okay, we'll keep filling her up. So thanks for riding along with me with all my crazy adventures for the last couple days. We got a pretty good little sheep hut built. Sheep seem happy on their new pile of grass. And I'm pretty happy with the results, how it turned out. And I'm even happier that, I'm really happy that the mule was able to actually pull the structure, like the sheep shack. That's what I'm gonna call it. Sheep shack. Anyway, it's gonna work well for us. I'm really thrilled with that. I'm really happy with it. But anyway, thanks for riding along with us. Go ahead and like, hit that subscribe button, share, follow along. I'm gonna be doing a lot more crazy stuff. But anyway, we're gonna finish filling this water up here, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Bye.